Hey everyone, Darren Virapa here. This is the campaign that has my niche a buzz. Some of you have probably already heard of it. Everyone is talking about Facebook ads, usually at best given an ROI of 10x. Well, this one went slightly above, and because Frank Kern says he spends about $2,000 to acquire a new client. A lot of other gurus are telling the best consultants that's how much it actually costs as well. And the ads I'm about to show you generated those types of clients for $250 only. And it was all thanks to one big mistake. Yes, really, here is what happened. A few years ago, Bill, a close friend of mine, told me that Frank Kern said it should only cost $250 to get a new client on Facebook. So I took that as gospel. What I was not paying much attention to was that it was getting super competitive on Facebook. There was a lot of information freely available, and competitors in all industries were competing viciously for customers and clients. I mean, it can get really depressing. I'm not making this up. I had a client, I had a woman coach, which is a client once, and well, during one of our sessions, she swore, cried, and then swore again before just falling apart. It is vicious and costly and extremely frustrating out there. For all you know now, it is so overcomplicated that most business owners don't even know if they are in fact doing the right thing. That's how bad it is. And here I was in my little bubble thinking that it was only supposed to cost $250. So I would stay up all night figuring out how to lower costs, and I'm going to show you my unique ad formula that reduces customer acquisition costs to that level. I took tens of thousands of dollars of training from the best Facebook marketers, and if it cost me $400 to get a client, I would lose it. I'd beat myself up and work really hard to get it down to, you've guessed it, $250, because I didn't know any better. And those lost hours, that frustration, the hard toil, that made me good. Some will tell you even great. One of the best internet marketers on the planet actually approached me to teach this sort of marketing to his best internet marketers himself. Oh, and I'm also going to show you the actual ad that did the 1067% ROI. By the way, 4 months later, the campaign still makes money and generates testimonials. And we are not spending $1, and you probably heard the Harley Davidson behind in the background in advertising, and haven't in months. So that 1067% is probably getting bigger now because, like I said, we're not advertising anymore, and the campaign is still making money. Good old Facebook. And I forgot to mention that initially this campaign was losing money. Yes, we took an ad that was losing money. Not a lot, but it was, and we made it churn out this sort of profit. This ad did not fatigue either. For the longest time, this ad ran from I think February till October, and I will probably flog it again next year. After showing the ad, I will explain to you why such an anonymous, simple, borderline stupid looking thing with a corny hook. I mean, it looked professional, but that's about it. It packed such a devastating psychological uppercut. Why it was shared and spread like wildfire among the best prospects I could hope for. These were my dream clients, and their friends were telling them that I was the hottest thing since sliced bread. Please do not skip a second of what follows. It's really important. I don't know how long I can have this video up, and the material is extremely important for you to understand and unique in many ways, because that is the part that you can take to your own business and make it work, which is why you're here, right? You want something you can action, something you can do to take your business to where it seems difficult to reach right now. But before we do all that, let me explain my advanced disruption marketing tactic. What a mouthful. I just came up with that. You're going to love this. I didn't actually. You're going to love this. I'm going to show you what my killer ad as well. Besides, the reason behind these disruption tactics is really simple. Most business owners think that prospects are just gagging to hear from them, excited to read their pitches. No way. They don't understand that the best prospects are usually tired, exhausted after a long day at work, probably brain dead doing paperwork at night, which is when most of my opt-ins actually happen, or bored with work and vegetating online looking for yet another way to procrastinate. They need to be jarred out of that stupor to act. You need to just shake them out of it. Enter advanced disruption marketing tactics. I really need to come up with an acronym for this thing. By the way, these are evergreen, so really well worth investing time into. Why advanced disruption? Because most professional advisors already do a semi-decent job at this, but I'm going to show you how to beat them. Okay, and that's the only way you beat them is you do better. Now, let me show you the innocent looking ad that did 1067%. But it packs a punch. Remember that, and I'm going to show you how this ad decimated all. Now, I'm no graphic designer, as you can probably tell, and I suck at a whole bunch of things you really don't want to hear of. As a matter of fact, there's a tool I'm going to show you shortly. It's called Canva that helped me put this ad together. I would not have been able to do so by myself. In fact, the only thing I think I was ever any good at in marketing was copy. Something I don't usually like to admit. And a lot of ads make bold claims and don't get any clicks. We've all seen them. So let me tell you how a below average graphic designer like me gets over 4% click-through rates. If you think of Facebook, it is blue, black and white with a few routine looking pictures. So if I stuck something big and yellow in front of my perfect customers, happily dozing away by the way, I get their attention, right? I wake them up. Sorry, that was sort of so that you don't fall asleep on me here either. And that increases click-through rate, ladies and gentlemen. You got to wake them up. And so I thought to make the yellow stand out more, I added a black background, which made the contrast even bolder. Let me bring that back up. There you go, as you can tell, which again increased the click-through rate. Now, a graphic designer can do this for $5 for you on Elance, or you can use canva.com. This is a click and drag and watch a 4-year-old do it simple. The other thing I did was to use different associations. I mean, what does instant coffee have to do with emails, right? Those two words are not associated with each other. So again, that disrupts their thinking when they see those two words together going, what is going on here? For example, if I had written about good copy headlines, that's just too normal. It wouldn't do anything. To disrupt their slumber, bam, I need associations they have never heard of. Ergo, instant coffee meets email marketing. Only on my ads, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the ad copy is quite disruptive again. There is a sense of urgency. Excuse me. Now, from zero to hero, it's all pointing towards taking action. That is, disrupt your lethargy, I think is the right, English is my fourth language, by the way, and do something. All that added up to really increasing the click-through rate. I don't want people to think I'm coming from another planet or anything like that here. I'm in Melbourne, I'm in Australia. One word of caution, I did not get I didn't go 80s neon bright pink, so you still need to keep things looking very professional. As you could tell on that ad, it was a professional looking ad. Now, the back end of Facebook is quite complicated. I'm just going to give you the strategy, and I'm not going to get too technical here. So I'm only going to say to those that get this, if you use the Ads Manager to create your ad, you will need the Power Editor to do what I tell you next. For those who are supposed to understand that, they probably did. For those that are probably most of the people that are listening right now who just want the strategy, here is the magic formula. And I always tell people, here's the Harley again in the background. Damn, that's annoying. And I always tell people there is no magic pill in life and in business. You may have heard me say this over and over again, but I am about to show you is really insightful and has core marketing strategies at heart. Highly effective stuff. There it is, people. I was in awe and somewhat shocked when people started sharing this ad and the sales started pouring in. It was just too much for my team, and we lost a few sales because we just never got back to them on time. Afterwards, I was sick for 2 weeks from overwork. My waiting list was about 60 strong, and we just could not get to everyone. But it was completely euphoric. I remember lying in bed, sick but with a big grin on my face, and I only had a small inkling that was going to happen when I created this ad. I actually had to reverse engineer the formula. Let's quickly cover Facebook ads basics before we get deeper into this. This is what everyone else does. Okay, step 1, create an ad. Step 2, pick a group where your ideal prospects are. Step 3, gradually increase spending. Here is where my approach is completely different. My first step is to list 5 of the biggest pain points of my prospects, the stuff that makes them want a solution for. In this case, download a solution for, this is what I call the pointed copy stage. Okay, step 2, I select the biggest pain points. So now I have those, there's 5 of the biggest pain points for my prospects. I'm going to select which one of those is the biggest one that's going to drive towards a sale. And in my ad, that was not enough sales. I should probably bring it back up. And if you look at the ad here, you're going to see in the first line there's not enough sales, and then in that big yellow bubble, it's instant, it's ready to go, and underneath that again not enough sales, and then right at the bottom again not enough sales. Now step 2, Step 2 is I select the biggest pain point. So in this case, like I said, this was sales. And step 3, I create 3 ads around that pain point. Not just one ad, not just the ad you saw there. You see the ad that I showed you has a lot of mention of fixing sales issues I just showed you, and that was that one pain point. But I had created 3 ads around that pain point. And step 4, I will select one interest on Facebook. So that's a group of people that I think will need this solution. For example, we could run those free ads against followers of Think and Grow Rich, or you know the book, right, and Entrepreneur Magazine and so on, to get access to small business owners. Step 5, I will run each of the free ads I created to that interest to see which ad converts the best. That way I will find which one of my ad is the best out of the 3 that we created. And that was the process for me to find this ad. I created 3 different ads like the one you just saw, and I ran it to that interest. They were all different from each other, and then one of them just converted way more than the rest. And there you go, I have my best ad. By the way, if you want to have a high converting ad and if we can work well together, all you got to do is click the button below if you want to see if you're fit for each other. And back to topic, by creating that one ad, that's exactly how I got a high ROI ad, because I started with 3 ads, which is not what digital agencies usually start with. They try that one ad, and if it doesn't work, they just give up. Now, the reason why it works is twofold. First, I try free ads, so I'm 3 times likelier to get a great ad. Sometimes I'll try 5 ads, by the way, but the hidden reason lies elsewhere. Most advertisers only try 1 ad and give up. Most of them leave behind gold and move on to what looks like greener pastures, but the grass is always greener. If I have not completely lost you, and you haven't completely fallen asleep, here is a little bonus that will further increase how many customers you make. By the way, I know I sound obnoxious every now and then. I just got my voice here to try to keep you try to keep you listening and try to keep your interest here. That's why I may sound a little bit obnoxious. Please forgive me. Every minute or so I probably just try to do something a bit loud so that I keep you focused on the video. Now this is yet another mistake. Like I said, digital agencies make. They put all their interests in one basket. For example, in my case, I would mistakenly advertise 1 ad to Entrepreneur Magazine, Followers, Tony Robbins, Think and Grow Rich, Financial Review, and 7 others at the same time. And this is what happens all the time. Typically, only 1 or 2 of these interests have high-paying prospects, but by advertising to all of them at the same time, I will never know which one of those groups is making me the money, is making me the clients, is getting me all this, all that ROI that otherwise I wouldn't get, because I'd be spending so much more. So instead of advertising to a sample of 10,000 where all my prospects are, I do the stupid thing and advertise to 150,000 people and pay 15 times more for the same prospects. The right thing to do, of course, is to run the ad for $10, not $10 a day, but just $10 against each of these 4 to 5 interests, one at a time, and find out which one converts the highest. Only increase your spend once you have found the most profitable one, the one from which customers and clients just pour down from the skies. Now, this makes a lot of money and a lot of customers for the least amount spent on your ads. That's part of the secret on how to get a really high ROI. Seems like the Harley Davidson is gone, but we've got a flock of birds in the background now. Please forgive them too. It is a bit advanced, and if you want this sort of powerful and high conversion advertising, we need to see if we can help you create a winning ad to get your product in front of the right people that will want and need it. So click the button below again. Below the video, there should be a button where you can click it and see if what we have to offer is for you. After the flood of clients from this simple but lethal ad, all I did was get sick for 2 weeks, then jump out of bed, book a limo, take the missus to a $500 pop dinner, actually, chauffeured, showed her a good time, amongst other crazy things I did. But look, even if you're just starting out with Facebook advertising, there is no need whatsoever to waste time and to try to figure this out on your own, or even experiment when there are people like us that have already developed formulas. Just click the button below and we can see if we are a fit indeed for each other.